and we have a great show lined up for you. I'm your host, Kim Jacobs, better known as the Balance Doctor. And all of our guests that come on, they're either people that have overcome some tremendous odds in their own lives as they balance this thing called life, or they're experts and they're here to share tips and strategies that will help you better balance and manage your life. Grab your virtual seats and let's get ready for some real relevant and relatable content on today's episode of The Kim Jacobs Show. Yes, everyone, it is The Kim Jacobs Show, and I am super thrilled to be here with you today as we bring balance to the world one household at a time. And today we are doing that with none other than it's not just a regular guest, y'all. This is my cousin, right? This is my cousin, Dr. Sherronda Banks. How are you, Dr. Sherronda Banks?
I am doing great. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Well, I'm so excited. I'm excited at a different level. I'm almost like a proud parent because my cheeks are burning and I'm like, I can't wait for everybody to experience you and all that encompasses who God has created you to be. So I'm looking forward to this episode, probably more than most. Okay. I'm a little bit biased, y'all. Okay.
I love it. I take that.
Have you ever been biased? Like, you're not supposed to be biased. No respect of person. I try to live by that creed. But when it comes to my first cousin, I'm like, sorry, I feel a little bit biased, you know?
Absolutely. I love it. Thank you. I appreciate the bias for me.
Good. And listen, as you all are coming into the studio audience, let us know where you're visiting in from. Put your name, put your city, whatever it is that is how you're connected with our show and with our special guest today. We'd love to be able to put your comments up, any thoughts, any congratulations, or whatever it is that God is putting in your spirit. Make sure you put it up and we will pop it up throughout today's discussion. Okay. Now I see some of you on Instagram too. So if you have Facebook, please hop over there and put the comment because I can't pop it up on the screen from Instagram. I don't know. There's a lot going on. Okay. All right. But we will acknowledge your comment as well. And for the iHeart radio listeners and Roku and all of these different places, just know that we're glad that you're here today and really honored. All right, so we're going to jump right into our conversation today. Let me give a special introduction and not be too common. Sometimes people get too common when they know the person personally, so then you don't give the same level of accolades and respect. That's not me. So I know that Dr. Sherronda Banks, LCSW, along with LISW-CP, is a clinical therapist, educator, speaker, and visionary founder of Intentional Steps Counseling Services, PLLC. She has over 22 years of experience in social work, mental health, and higher education. And she specializes in creating spaces that are not just supportive, but transformational. She's helped individuals, institutions, communities, all of which heal, grow, and lead through culturally responsive, faith-informed, and clinically grounded strategies. Now, I'm not going to go through every single piece of her accolades because that would literally take the whole hour of our time together. But I will tell you that she is a licensed clinical social worker in both North Carolina and in Virginia, licensed independent social worker clinical practice in South Carolina, and she provides therapy that meets people where they are. So no matter what phase of life you're in, what journey you're in, she can meet you where you are. I'm going to let her talk about even some of her academic success and the things and the degrees that she's attained. You name it, she has it. Dr. Sherronda Banks, welcome to the Kim Jacobs Show.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm so happy to be here. I really am. I'm excited to have this conversation and create space, not just with you, but with all the viewers that are tuned in as well.
Absolutely. And I don't know if you recognize, but probably one of the only days you'll see me in this pink and green over here.
Yes, ma'am. I tell you, soon as I popped in, I said, oh, I love that I see my sorority colors on my cousin.
But let's not get it twisted. I am a Delta.
Understood. I appreciate you honoring me in that way because I do know that that is not your sorority, but you know how I am with my pink and green.
Yes, I was like, I'm wearing pink and green today, no matter what. And it's not even about a color one way or the other, but about true sisterhood. So I'm really glad to be able to rep this for you today. All right. So Sherronda, you're not, like I said, you're not just a regular guest. You are my cousin, and one of my first cousin when it comes to my dad is your mom's brother, which makes us first cousins. And so I really wanted us to just start about us and the fact that we have these cousin lunches, and it's like a really big thing to us. How do
Yeah.
you feel like that helps you stay grounded amidst
Absolutely.
all the things that you do in life?
Yeah. So, I mean, as you know, but the audience doesn't know, I'm an only child, right? I'm a real only child. I'm the only child for my mom and for my father. And so my sisterhood I have with my cousins is nothing like it, because I don't look at y'all like my cousins, y'all are my sisters. And so we are extremely intentional to make sure that we connect once a month in some capacity and do an annual trip once a year. And the annual trip just started, but it is thebomb.com. But
That's
it's
us, our t-shirt for the girls trip.
but it's so important because life gets busy, lives, right? And then we get caught up in our own family dynamics, because that's what we should be doing, making sure our family runs well and making sure that, our professional life is doing what it needs to do as well. But we have to put that same intentionality in making sure we pour into each other, because we are real and we are honest and we are raw during our times together, right?
Oh my gosh, y'all. I'm not even exaggerating. You could think that you got it going on, you doing this and everything. By the time that you finish talking to the cousins at the cousins lunch, they're like, "Why are you doing this? Why?" I mean, they going in like, "Oh my god, what is this? I know it's supposed to be a safe space,
Absolutely.
but nobody holds anything back. Whatever
Absolutely.
we all feel, we just really say it."
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. And what we talk about is between us. Like, it's a code. We don't go out and say anything to our mamas or our children. This is the cousins, the first cousins. And so we always post our pictures afterwards. I typically put FOE, which is family, over everything, right? And I really mean that. I love my cousins tremendously. I love my family.
But we got to put a few of these cousin pictures up. And trust me, we have thousands. Okay,
Yes.
it's like unlimited. By the time we go into our cousins chat, we have pictures for
Yeah.
the last about a month. I'll be popping up. But these are just a few.
Yes.
This is us at, what is this? Tell everybody.
This is when we went to Woman Evolve 2024 in Texas. And that was actually our first cousins annual trip. And we had a phenomenal time in the Lord, left with just being empowered.
Yep. And we all had the same color t-shirts. I was like, "What? I need a black t-shirt. I'm hormonal and have hot flashes." And she was like, "No, it has to be pink," because she coordinated it. So
We coordinated.
over.
Yes.
It's just us at another luncheon.
Yes.
Because even when we go to family events, we pull out and take our own cousin's picture. People are like
Pictures.
looking
Yeah.
at us like, this is ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
And here's us at another luncheon recently.
Recently, yeah, that was a recent cousin lunch. And we try out new restaurants in the Charlotte area as well, right? Like, we try different places, different brunch locations, things that have different themes. I think our next one is going to be a sushi spot. So, we just, hang out and try different spots.
Yeah, and this one right here, we turn up too, right?
We
That
turn
was
up.
us celebrating you.
My cousins were celebrating me and my accolades of graduating with my doctorate degree. And that was one of our evening hangouts. So we fancy a little bit.
Oh yeah, especially when we were eating. I think it was like 9 something, girl. I was yawning. Why was I yawning like that?
I don't know why you were so tired, but I was excited.
I was so tired, y'all, because I'm not used to, I don't know. I mean, I guess once I get in the dating world in the future, I am not a person that just be out hanging out late to me, it was 9:30. We were just meeting. I was like, whoa, it's time for bed for me. I'm ready to get wind down, and they're ready to turn up. So
You have to get that together. Absolutely. And one thing I don't know if the audience knows, we're almost in our orders in a lot of the pictures. I'm the baby cousin of our first cousin group. So I'm the youngest. And our host, she's the oldest. So it's like, for me, this is super special to be on her show, because you got the older generation and then myself as the younger, all in one space, doing amazing things.
Yes. Each one of us have our own area of focus and
Absolutely.
expertise. And I'm really proud that we take this time. I'm going to move some of these pictures so we can put some more up and make
Yeah.
space for more. But that is already just an exciting start. And we do have some people that are on. I know my auntie, she's like, is that what is that?
Shaking my head.
Oh, that's funny. I thought that was SMILE all my life, right? Every time I've seen these acronyms, I know not what these acronyms mean. But so SMA, she's shaking her head because they want to be a part of
They want to come. They can't come.
this.
Yeah.
Is funny. She definitely, all of my mom and my Aunt Sadie and my Aunt Irma, they're like, oh, the cousins luncheon.
Uh-huh. Yes.
We're going to find out where it is and we're going to just kind of overtake it. And we're like, no, y'all will not find out where it is because we're not going to tell you.
Yes, but we did invite them to the Women's Evolve 2025. So they got a chance to do the annual conference with us, and it turned into a mother-daughter trip, which was super awesome.
It really was. And then having Dr. Alston there
And
too.
yeah, Dr. Alston being there.
Yes.
Super shout out to our other cousins, Ebony and Lacey, who are in our picture. Those are our other first cousins.
Yes, yes. Okay. So we talked about the cousins, and I really wanted to make sure we said a little bit about that. But family legacy is really like a big thing in your life. So how has your family shaped the way that you show up, especially when it comes to being a therapist, an educator, and even a mother? So from that perspective.
Absolutely. So I grew up in a single mother household. So that's my mom who said the shaking my head in the chat. And my mom made sacrifice after sacrifice after sacrifice for me to not want for anything. And if I can just truly say, I had everything a two-parent household had consistently, right? Because my mom made those sacrifices. And then she also partnered with my auntie who kind of stepped in when my mom worked out of state to make sure that I was good. So she pseudo my second mom as well. And when I look at that, it was no way that I was going to give less in excellence in anything that I touched as I grew up. Our family has a lot of people in the helping field, right? Social workers, teachers. Yes. So I grew up with that mentality that I really thought I was going to be a teacher, like of an elementary or middle school. And when I graduated high school, I went to Old Dominion University for undergrad, and they put me in a cohort. So I was 17, fresh out of school, happy. And y'all sent me to a middle school. I changed my major immediately. I said, I'm not gonna be no teacher at all. And social work was my next best thought process about where I would land. And that's exactly where I should be. Our family is built on entrepreneurship, right? From our great-grandparents growing up in a time where it was not okay for Black people to own businesses, right? Our great-grandfather, he had two businesses. I just learned this. He had two businesses. Yes. He had a funeral home, and then he had a life insurance company. And they made him choose, saying that it was like double dipping almost, having both. And he chose the funeral home, which is still in existence to today, right?
Yes, the Boyd Funeral Home.
Boyd Funeral Home. And so being built on that and being built on the importance of education is super big within our family as well. And so being able to navigate those two spaces and figuring out where does that land for me completely shaped who I was. Absolutely. And being able to land into this space. Yeah, there go our Irma and mom, right? You know, they are so pivotal within my life. You know, I don't take anything for granted. They can always have anything they want from me without there being a question, because there were true sacrifices made in my life to ensure that I had everything I needed.
That's right. That's good. That's good. I'm just popping some different pictures up that I had seen.
My bonus dad. Yes.
Your bonus dad. Let's see. I saw some more pictures on social media.
Yes.
And Dr. Alston, she's always so supportive. So that's why I found a picture with her in it.
Yeah, and Dr. Alston has been in my life since I was young and has not missed one event that I've had ever.
That's right.
Look at us. That's grandma. That's our grandmother, Mother Thomasina Clark. Super pivotal in everything. Taught me how to read at a very early age. Got me started on this educational journey early.
That's right. Yeah. Okay. So I know we're going to pop lots of pictures up because since you were my cousin, I had so many. I don't always have too many of everybody else, but I just wanted to make sure that I talk with you about what role does your family play in your own resilience, because we're talking today about resilience. So what role does your family play in your own radical perseverance perseverance that you teach.
Absolutely. So when it comes to figuring out what does like self-care and resiliency look like for you in the world right now, those are hot topics, right? Everybody's talking about it. And in some ways it's good because it's getting a conversation out there for people to think about what do I need for myself. But in a space that it is typically presented is very commercialized. And yes, we need to do the commercial things, right? We need to do the getting your hair done, getting massages, getting your nails. And I love all that. I do all them things, right?
Yeah, we know.
Happily. But I also know how to check in on myself, to ground myself when I'm not feeling like I'm the best me I can be. I know how to do deep breathing when I feel myself getting overwhelmed or escalated. And I also know how to lean into my family, right? To be able to know that this is a space for me that's safe, that I can say my truth in this environment. I'm not going to be judged. I'm going to be given really sound advice, whether I want it or not, right? Sometimes I may not want to hear the sound, but I need to hear it in that moment. And my family's going to do that for me. Or just going out and hanging out and letting my hair down where I don't have to be Dr. Sherronda Banks or Miss Banks and all these other titles that I have. I could just be plain old Sherronda from Hampton, Virginia, right? And I know that that's a great place to be.
And you are so right, because guess what? We treat you like that, at least at the cousins. Like, doctor title at the door because you can ready to get schooled, right?
100%. I'd be like, y'all, I'm grown. What is happening? Because I am the baby. So sometimes I get the baby. And even with mom, I get we were at an event the other day and all I hear is shabu, shabu, shabu. And I'm like, Mom, like, we're in a very public environment and professional environment is Dr. Banks.
But she then calls you. I've heard her. She then actually says Dr. Shabu.
Dr. Shabu. And I let her have it. I let her have it. What can I say?
Well, these people right here are very near and dear to you as your children.
Yeah.
And I personally have watched you be a wonderful mother. And a wonderful leader, and you're building legacy right while you're here on this earth. Just talk to us about your children and how important they have played a role in your resilience.
Absolutely. My babies are my heartbeat. The reality is when you're in your family, especially your children, they see everything, right? They see the undercover stuff. They see they see everything. They're seeing the journey. They see where it's been hard and you're struggling. And now they see, excellence, and you see excel and overflow and abundance, right? And so I love my children. I'm a mama bear, tried and true. I would do anything for them, and I appreciate that they had a chance to see where it wasn't so good, where it was tight days and money wasn't flowing like it needed to happen, and how I still showed up in certain atmospheres. I love that they have seen my self-love and self-care journey for myself. They are my number one supporters. I cannot tell you, in this weight loss journey that I've had and how much they're like, always, Mom, you're doing so good, and pouring into me when I'm pouring into them, but they don't know that they pour into me every single day. Watching my daughter, navigate being a young adult, and she's now a senior at her university, and my son's now a freshman at his, and just watching them transition into their young adulthood and how our relationship is shifting, right? It's shifting in a way that we're learning and growing and, figuring out now I'm not an authoritarian. Now I'm an advice giver. And I'm like,
right. Big difference when you're raising and managing adult children. They have the right to make their own decisions.
Absolutely.
And whether we agree with them or not. So this is just a balance tip for everybody, that we are literally working alongside our adult children, but they don't have to choose whatever advice that we give.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually have an example. Jeremiah the other day said, "Hey, Mom, my friend and her family are going out of town for Thanksgiving. I really want to go with them. Are you okay if I go?" So I'm being transparent. My answer was, "No, I'm not okay with you going. I want you with me." And then she waited a little bit, and then she texted me back and she said, "Hey, Mom." And she was like, "I really want to go." And I had to take a step back because I said, how fair is it that I'm telling her she can't go? And this is what she wants, right? No matter how much I want something different. So I told her, "Baby, I got your back. Whatever you want, whatever you on, I'm on. So if you want to go with your friends, I support that. We can celebrate Thanksgiving before you go." But that was a life lesson for me that I needed to take a step back because I was almost being a helicopter parent. And I had to tell her it was okay, because it is okay for her to be able to celebrate with everybody.
That's right. That's good. Great example. I have an example too. I've had some moments where I'm crying and I'm calling Sean and I'm telling her, or even you guys, I've told my cousins, and I'm like, my kids said this, so they didn't do it the way I wanted them to do it. And everybody's like, calm down.
Yeah.
They have the right to choose whatever their outcome is. And so one example just recently, bad is I have two of my children that are getting ready to move out together and start their own journey. And I'm like, okay, I'm excited for you. Way to spread your wings. But I'm like, right. I'm like a little bit nervous. And I was like, well, even though you're moving out, can you come back every Sunday and we eat together and we play some games and try to keep the tradition going of us? We usually have like meetings as a family and where we talk about things that we've learned from the previous week. So they're like, okay, sure, absolutely, Mom. But I'm thinking, what if that happens where they don't come on a Sunday? I have to get my mind right, you know?
Right. Put your hands on your head, get your mind right, right? Yeah.
Of course, anybody in the studio audience, you can share examples too of maybe where you've had to deal with your adult children and something that worked well, didn't work well. And feel free to put it in the comment section. We'll pop it up for you. So, all right. So you will be one of the guest speakers coming up here at our Unity Sunday at Promise Fellowship Church.
Absolutely.
And so what does unity, and you don't have to say what you're going to say on Sunday, but what does unity really mean to you from your perspective?
Yeah, for sure. Unity really means to navigate space with like-minded individuals that you respect and that you don't mind spending time with, right? I think sometimes we are in spaces where we feel like we have to, right? We have to be in this space or we have to do certain things. And we do, right? Those certain things are not optional. But when it comes to really being a unified front, it's a lot of intentionality in that, right? And a lot of that, and I'm not going to go too much in detail, but a lot of that has to do with first, how you take care of yourself. Like, how are you taking care of yourself so you can show up wholly in the space with these like-minded individuals so that it's not just a joy for you to be around them, it's a joy for them to be around you as well.
Yes. I love that. I cannot wait to hear because Dr. Sherronda Banks is going to be one of our guest speakers on this Sunday for our Unity service, Unity Sunday service. So if you are, some people are Jack and Jill, Eastern Stars, all of these different Divine Nine sorority fraternity organizations. If you're not a part of any of that, that's fine. Just come and rep God, okay? And make sure that you're in the house on Sunday, September 21st at 10 a.m. We also have President Chris Ray from Barber Scotia College will be one of our guest speakers. And we have hip hop gospel artist Greg H. Jackson. He will be performing 2 songs, and he is also the president of Heal Charlotte. So this is the inside of the event venue where we are having our services, and it's at 12080 University City Boulevard this Sunday, September 21st. If you're watching a replay and it's not September 21st, just enjoy the show, y'all, because I run shows over and over sometimes too. Just enjoy the episode, okay? All right, but we look forward to hosting you on Sunday.
Absolutely. I'm excited to be there.
I'm excited about it as well. Okay, so how do you even believe that church, because I know that you're heavily involved as a Christian woman and a faith-based woman, how do you feel that plays a role in everything that you do as well from your therapy perspective?
Yeah, absolutely. Where does it not play a role, right? I don't move or make any type of step without it being directed by God. And he always tells me I think too small. And so I'm always expanding my thought process, but grew up, of course, in the church environment. We have lots of pastors and bishops and first ladies and all the things within our family. So I grew up in that space growing up and went to college and had a little bit of fun, right? And then got a little bit older and went back to my foundation because I don't know how not to be, linked to God, and was able to transition into a space of, okay, I know my mom told me this. I know my cousins told me this. I know my aunt told me this, but now I've had experiences that nobody else had to tell me, right? Like no one can make me doubt it because I've been able to go through spaces that the only person that could help me was God within that space, which is why I elevate within my space is first through prayer, and then faith, and then action, right? Those things are really big to me, is that I believe God has told me a lot, but I'm not just sitting on what he's told me. I'm putting action to it so that he knows that I believe that this is what he told me to do. And so that's how I navigate every aspect of my therapeutic practice, of my speaking engagements, of all these different programming that I'm building. I pray about it and I ask God for focus, and I act on it, right? I take more than a mustard seed of faith and I act on it.
Yes, more than that little mustard seed of faith can move mountains. So imagine you said a little bit more than a mustard seed. And can you imagine how big a tree becomes just because of that small seed that's planted? And it's enormous. I was looking at some of the trees that come from just the mustard seed.
Yes.
They're enormous trees. So I'm excited about your a little bit more than mustard seed. Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited about it. So you've created radical preservation.
Radical preservation.
Preservation. Okay. Okay. Let me put my glasses on. Glasses.
Yes.
Radical preservation. And that's your signature model. That's actually something that you've created. And I want you to explain what it means and how it works, especially when it comes to women, leaders, and caregivers specifically.
Absolutely. Yes. So when I was going through my doctoral journey, we had to do a capstone, and our capstone has to focus in on a topic. And the topic of interest for me has always been self-care and resiliency, especially post-pandemic, because what I see in college students, what I see in adults, what I see in adolescents is that during that pandemic time, there's a lot of spaces that we've lost. And one of those spaces is the ability to bounce back from hard situations. I deal with a lot of mental health crises, especially from college age students, because there's a time period where you would have had to deal with situations that they lost because they were at home during that time period and didn't go through the making friends and dealing with failures within certain spaces and figuring out what skill sets do I need. So I went into my doctoral journey knowing I wanted to lean into that space. And so I did a lot of research and a lot of focus, and I built programming then. And so when I graduated, I wanted to continue that journey. And so in continuing the journey, I started looking at, from professional women and from other adults, where do we struggle at? Like, where do we really struggle? And we struggle with taking care of ourselves. We'll take care of everybody else in the world. We'll do what we have to do for our children, our family, our friends, our church. We show up, and sometimes we show up because it's just the norm. And really, sometimes it's unfair. It's unfair that the expectation is that we just gonna step in that moment. It's a societal norm. And so I know that we needed to have something in place that was more than just self-care, more than just resiliency, because it's not just a hit and miss thing, it's a lifestyle. And so I built radical preservation because I really wanted to be able to shift systems and disrupt systems. There are a lot of systems that work the way that they do, whether it's the school system, the political system, the educational system. They operate the way they do because we don't know how to take care of ourselves. Even our work system, right? Like our job, when we're getting asked to go above and beyond in certain aspects, and we say yes, even though we know that that's a situation that it should be just no, period. Or that it's a situation where it has to be, oh, I can't do that, right? We stand and do it. But if we put in a plan to say, I'm not going to do, I'm going to take care of myself, it'll shift the system. And so and we're going to shift it radically, right? We're not just going to do that every day. And so when I built radical preservation, I built it on 4 different pillars. And within those pillars, it's like, if you can focus in on that and you're able to see, how can I make sure I'm the best me I can be in that space, then you'll feel balanced. You'll feel really balanced, and you'll feel like you're able to move forward. And so what I've done is, with the radical preservation, is I do have workshops on it. I go and do speaking engagements, and I built an e-workbook. And the e-workbook really takes these different pillars and explains them, and then it gives you exercises. So for example, one of the exercises is to think about who are your energy givers and who are your energy drainers, right? To be able to identify what that looks like, so you can be intentional to say, I'm gonna give less to them drainers, I'm gonna give more to those givers, right? Within those. And these are things that we may think about, but when it's on paper and it's in front of you, it looks very different.
I'm typing what you're saying. Energy drainers, y'all. Like Dr. Lotus Rache says this a lot. She said that note takers are money makers. And so I am encouraging you, If you are not taking notes, take notes right here on this episode. And that way you can go back and look at it later. Energy drainers and energy givers.
Yes.
This is great. And this is Dr. Sherronda. Dr.
Dr.
Sherronda Banks is giving this wonderful advice. Type it in the comment section if it's something you're going to apply. Looking at who drains your energy and spending less time, and who gives you energy and pours into you more.
Yeah.
Those are the people you want to spend more time with. So keeping that in mind, great point. And I see other comments that's coming in as well. My Aunt Sadie, which is the mom of Dr. Sherronda Banks here today. Awesome. Looking forward to being there this Sunday. Looking forward to having you. Auntie, can you help with ushering? I might not get a call, but we're going to probably need some help with some ushers. Okay. All right. Let's see. I am so thankful to God for the journey of my daughter and grandchildren. God has a plan for each of you, and just incredibly grateful is what she says. My mom is on too. My mom, she's going to be like, I know you did not put a picture of me up there. So.
Hey, I look beautiful.
Oh, I got you in the photos. Okay. All right. And that's us on a cruise.
Yes, absolutely.
Celebrating Aunt Sadie and Uncle Deacon. I call him Uncle Deacon, Uncle Williams. It was their 20th year.
It was their 20th, yep, wedding anniversary.
Yeah. And look at you. You look at Phil.
Yeah.
We even got Jayla in her dress. You know that right there was like a whole thing.
I love it.
Listen, she said, I want to attend the cousins' lunches also. Irma, Sadie, and Marcia, we can chime into the conversations too. Okay, y'all. You will not be the location. All right. Glad you're on, though, Mom. Very, very glad you're on. Let's see. Oh, hey, Benita said, hello, Queen. And family is everything. I'm trying to make sure I get all your comments in. I want to attend the. Okay, we're going to stop this. All of that. Francisca said, good afternoon, Queens. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. And I did want to share the pillars when we get an opportunity.
Oh, yeah. Clinton said hello. He has a show that he's traveling the country with called God Answer Me. It's coming up in South Carolina next. So y'all go over to his social media page and follow him. And I think if you put Kim Jacobs in the thing, it'll give you like a $5 discount or something off of the show. All right. So let's see over on Instagram too. I see you, Kojic Queens. I see you, Lady Jay. I see you, Sister Cheryl. I see you, Lady Jay. She said, I like that. Energy draining and giving is what Lady Justine Hilliard said.
Yes, absolutely.
Talk to us about the pillars.
So there are 4 different pillars. So the first pillar is protecting your peace, right? And so in protecting your peace is really figuring out how can I safeguard my mental, my emotional, and my spiritual balance? Like, what does that look like? And having the ability to say no when needed. And so I say that I actually have one of my shirts. It says no, period, with no qualifier, because we have to remember that we don't have to qualify our no. Our no is enough. No is a complete sentence. Right. And so sometimes we feel like we always have to justify, and we don't have to. Sometimes it just doesn't work, and that's okay. So that's one pillar. Then we have preserving your energy. Okay. And that's the ability. That's where that energy drainers and the energy givers falls in. Right. So paying attention to what those drainers are, and then being intentional to choose your relationships that you put that energy in. Right. That was a game changer for me too, because I felt like everybody had access to me. And I know that with me, I know I have something about my spirit that can draw people in. So I have to be really intentional who I allow that to happen with, or it can overwhelm me. Right. It can overwhelm me in that moment. So that's pillar 2. And then pillar 3 is practicing intentional rest. That is so important. Sometimes we look at rest and we think about going to bed at night, going on trips, but sometimes it's even mini breaks, right? So every morning when I wake up, I say to myself, Sherronda girl, how you feeling? So I do a check-in. And if I'm already in a space that I'm not feeling like I'm at my best, I say, okay, I'm gonna need to do like a 10-minute break every hour on today, because I need that to pour into myself. So figuring out what your needs are, because rest really is a form of resistance and recovery. Our body needs that. It literally needs the ability for us to rest and relax. And then that last pillar is pursuing purpose with balance.
I'm over here typing like I'm your assistant. I'm like, I'm typing fast. What is it for? Tell me again.
It's pursuing purpose with boundaries. And sometimes we have to think about, as we're pursuing our purpose, if it feels heavy and overwhelming, what are we doing? That means that we got to put a boundary in place so we can still excel in what we're trying to do. So you want to align your actions with your values and with your calling while trying to set that healthy limit in there as well.
That is so good. So just to go back one more time and go back to what the 4 pillars are. 1, say it one more time.
Protecting your peace.
Protecting your peace. Number 2.
Preserving your energy.
Did I spell that wrong? Is it preserving? I don't know.
That looks right.
Okay. Number 3.
Practicing intentional rest.
All right. And number 4.
Pursuing purpose with boundaries.
Wow. I think that even as we're talking today on how to balance different aspects of your lives, I actually bring guests on the show that can be able to help you in your personal home, in the comfort of your home, have some level of better balance in your life. And that's what Dr. Sherronda Banks is doing with us today. And you often speak a lot about resilience and how important, it's not just like a buzzword or anything,
Absolutely.
but you actually talk about how it can really help African-American communities and people that are sometimes even less fortunate. Talk to us from that perspective of how you really believe that it can make a difference in communities.
Yes, absolutely. Resiliency is important. It's important for a lot of reasons. So since I had finished my academic journey, it really opened my mind up to really ask the questions, especially when it comes to societal norms. So when you really think of people of color, right? We are born into situations that we don't even have a choice for, right? We are born and now we're dealing in a space where there's a power differentiation that's going on between those that are in power and situations of authority and those that are not. And so we are built in a space that it's expected that we know how to be resilient, right? Or we're expected to be in a space of resiliency. And when we aren't able to accomplish that, then we feel bad, right? Like it makes us feel really bad about ourselves. And so the first thing is we have to give ourselves grace and we have to give ourselves permission to learn how to be resilient, because it's really not taught, right? It's not taught to us. It's just expected that we know how to do it. Right. The ability to bounce back from hard situations is a necessary skill set because it allows us to be able to propel and to excel. I'll tell you, about 4 years ago, I really had to have some hard conversation with myself. And my conversation with myself was, Sherronda, do you love yourself the way that you tell people you love yourself? And I had to be honest and say, no, I didn't. I was like, I don't love myself like I think I need to. So I had to put some intentionality in it. My bounce back skills were good, right? But that bounce back without having that piece of being balanced and that piece about being able to really focus in on that radical preservation, all that has to happen together. So I went on a journey, right? Like I went on this journey to say, I need to love myself. So I'm gonna get a therapist, right? Let me talk through some places where I have trauma. Let me talk through some places where I have hurt that I have not had a chance to really work through. And some of the positive benefits from that is that I love myself. I think I'm the best thing since sliced bread. I really do. I think I'm the bomb.com. I love me, right?
You act like it too. When you come into the restaurant, we're like, oh, we gotta make some space for extra.
Make some space.
Her purse alone, because Dr. Sherronda has a
but it's because I love me. I love the good things about me. I love the things that I'm continuing to grow in. I feel like, how I show up is enough. I don't have to duplicate anybody. Just being Sherronda is enough. And then from that journey, I lost weight, right? I lost 120 pounds so far. I'm still progressing.
You're going in a different direction. Wait, let me put those pictures in. See, I ain't had those loaded yet, but now that you're talking about it, go ahead and keep talking. I'll find them.
Yes, but going through those journeys in order to be the best version of myself that I can be, and really pushing into all the areas: physical, spiritual, emotional, financial, professional, and love, like being really intentional and creating those resiliency spaces in each one of those so that I could say, oh, look at me on the big screen.
Yes, right here on the Kim Jacobs Show. I'm gonna find me a picture because you posted.
Yes, that is me. That's where I started. And that's not even, I'm smaller than that now, actually, in the secondary picture. Yes, that's my journey. And, I had to do the inside work.
I want all those dresses, by the way. I know I'm interrupting you, but I don't want to forget to say that because you've already passed me a few dresses. I'm like, girl, I don't care. I know I look good in those. in your bigger version dresses. I'm like, this is looking good on
Beautiful, absolutely, but even with that, and I say that to people who are on that type of journey for themselves as well, is do the inside work too, because you can be smaller and fit and still not feel good, right? Still feel heavy in the moment because you didn't do that inside work. Both of those have to happen simultaneously, because what happens is our mind is a really great tool, but there's something that's called body dysmorphia. It's a real thing. I deal with it all the time. I don't see myself the way everybody else sees me. I just don't. And so something someone told me in my journey was take pictures. And that was the best advice someone could give me, because I see it in pictures. I see it in side by sides, but there are times that I don't see it when I look at myself. And if I didn't do that inside work, me not seeing it would make me feel bad about me. But because I did the inside work, I'd be like, okay, I don't see it right now, but I'm doing it. I already know, right? I big up myself in those moments. So make sure you're doing all the work, doing the whole journey, and building resiliency in the process.
Wow, are you all, I mean, please put it in the comments section how much you're taking away from what Dr. Sherronda Banks is sharing with us today. I normally go to commercial breaks and stuff, but I just want to take this full hour and really make sure that we get everything that we can in our conversation to transform from that version of yourself to this version of yourself. It just takes, I believe, a significant mindset shift. And you're always at your burn boot camp and 5 o'clock in the morning. I know you've invited the cousins.
Always. You get 7 days free at Burn Boot Camp. Come on.
We're like, what time? She's on 4:45. We like, wait. I am, believe it or not, I'm up at that time anyway. Exactly. So I just need to drive on down the road. But it's like, Lord have mercy, 4:45.
But then what happens is it's done. It's done for the day. It's gotten your day started. You've gotten your endorphins going. You've been able to prove to yourself that you can do a hard thing, right? So you already starting your day off in a way that you like, I'm the bomb. I can do anything, right?
I can do anything. And you know what? All of the advice that you're giving today on the show, Dr. Sherronda, is so critically important, because if we literally implement the things that you're sharing, life is better. Life is just better. When I wake up in the morning, I pray, I drink like not just a sip, like a whole canister of water just to get hydrated, because I'm so dry. I don't know if I just sleep with my mouth open, like I felt like a mummy or something. I'm like, what am I? When I do my husband, I'm like, I need to know, do I just like, yeah. So I'm drinking all of this water, and I have my music, my spiritual music playing, and then I'm just talking to the Lord, like, and I'm like, okay, Lord, I am not in my best space right now. So what are we going to do for me to get what I need throughout the day? And it may require like a nap or whatever. So everything that you said has already been so helpful. Wow. Okay. I'm like, I'm trying to think of all of the directions to go in, because it's so much to you, but you're currently working on a book. I do know that.
Yeah.
I know you're not going to give us all the details, but can you give us a little sneaky peek into what the book is going to be about? Please.
Yes. Well, the book is Radical Preservation. That's what it's going to be. It's going to really, really push into tell my story in the process, because one thing I want to say is I'm not pushing radical preservation because I built it. I'm pushing it because I live it. Like, I really live this. Like, this is no joke. It's really the truth, is what I do. And so in the book is really going to talk through my story and how to incorporate radical preservation within your life. So that's one thing. And I don't know if you know the second thing, but I am writing a chapter in an academic book about resiliency, which I'm very excited about. And so it'll be something that students will be able to look at, and they'll be able to read my chapter, because again, I think there are expectations of your ability to be resilient, but it's not taught. And so this is just another method of being able to teach it.
I'm so proud of you. Yes. And you incorporate faith into some of your counseling and your theories. How does that work out for you? Because you still want to be your authentic self, but you also want to make sure that you don't walk away from your faith-based processes. How does that work for you?
So I offer Christian-based and I offer non-Christian-based therapy, right? And just kind of like a little plug. So Intentional Steps Counseling Service is a group practice, right? So what does that mean? It means that I have therapists that work at Intentional Steps, right? So you may get me, or you may get one of my amazing, like-minded, unity field, right? Therapists that provide supports in the same way. And so I did want to make sure I shared that. When it comes to me as a therapist, before every session I pray about it, whether it's a Christian-based session or not. And what I ask God is, let me show up in this session the way that my client needs. Let me be able to share with them what do they need in this moment, right? So that when I'm coming in, I'm not coming in with my own thoughts. I'm coming in, I'm bringing what I learned in this academic environment, which is great, right? But I'm also bringing lived experience, right? That lived experience is nothing like it. When you mesh those two together and you're able to bring in the Christian base, it just adds another layer, creates a different environment. And with my clients, I'll say to them, especially my ones that want Christian base, I'll say, I don't know why I'm saying this, but I'm going to honor God. And I'm going to say this right now. And I do. And I don't know why I'm saying it, but there's a takeaway for them. God knows why I'm saying it to them. And they know why I'm saying it to them. One thing recently that I've allowed myself to agree to with God is that I'm an intercessor.
I know when you do that eye like that, that means that you don't necessarily agree with it, but you're going to go ahead and go with it.
I don't want it. Can I be real? I don't want to be an intercessor. I don't want to feel what everybody else feel. I don't want to stand in the gap for people, but it's not about what I want. And God continues to put me in spaces where I got to stand in the gap for folks, that I got to feel what they need to feel. So I don't have no choice but to accept it at this point. So I'm taking ownership. I'm taking accountability to say I'm an intercessor. So when I hear God speak to me, I'm just saying the things. And even with my sessions that are not Christian based, if God says it, I'll say it. I don't know. I don't know why I'm saying it, but I'm just going to say this. I'm going to leave this little nugget. My clients know I said it. I'm going to get this little nugget, and you do what you need to do with that. And so that's how I bring my faith into this process as well.
That's good. That's good. And you do have gear too. I was looking over here.
I got merch. Yes.
Merch. So I want to make sure we talk about that. Tell us about the merch.
Yes. So we have t-shirts now. And so as you can see, one t-shirt says rest, reset, rise, radical preservation. That's what I've been talking this whole time. We have the shirt that says no period with no qualifier. And then we have the shirt that says we got goals, baby.
You say that all the time. We got goals, baby.
Yes. So that one is personal for me because I've been saying it for like 4 years now, every single day. So on the days I don't feel like pushing in, I remind myself, we got goals, baby. Get up and make this happen. And so I make it happen. So our shirts are $28. Then the other thing that was up is my e-workbook. It's the Radical Preservation e-workbook that goes through everything that we're talking about. They're $25. So you can capture any of this on my website, SherrondaBanks.com. With the e-workbook, as soon as you purchase it, you'll get the download. So you'll have immediate access to it.
That's so good. And it's not just an e-workbook. It has actionable steps where you can start making significant changes in your life today. So it's not like you have to read it and then you can start applying it 30 days from now, whatever. You can start your transformation today. So make sure you go to Sherronda Banks. And for those that are audio listeners, it's spelled SHERRONDA Banks, Sherronda Banks. And just sometimes I'm saying stuff and people are like, why is she spelling it like we can't? Because I have audio listeners that never even see the show. So they're only on like Google Music or Spotify or iHeartRadio. So they're not seeing this. And then also, just so you all know, the Kim Show is now streaming on Roku, Fire TV, Apple TV, Android TV, whatever you name it, through CTR Media Network. So if for some reason you haven't downloaded that app on Roku, make sure you take a moment to do that. And the Kim Jacobs Show is under the self-improvement channel. So once you get there, we're in over 350 million households thanks to CTR Media Network. And guess what? We got a notification. We're number 5. So what we're doing, but thank you for your support over there in the viewership, because we were ranked number 5 this past month.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Well, that's because I'm trying to keep up with you, Dr. And the funny thing is, guess what? We don't have to try to keep up with anybody else. I'm a big believer in the quote that says flowers don't compete with other flowers.
Absolutely.
They just let the flowers bloom around them and we all celebrate each other.
Beautiful garden. Absolutely.
What are some of your thoughts? What are some of your thoughts pertaining to even just when I think about motherhood, because we're talking about balance?
Yeah.
It's like you've proven that you can be a mother, you can be a businesswoman, you can be a doctor, you can be whatever you want to be. Any advice to mothers that have these goals and dreams that they're putting on the back burner?
Yeah, I think you just got to do it. You have to do it. You take it one day at a time, right? And when you're successful that one day, make sure you pat yourself on the back and say, now I'm gonna do 2 days, and now I'm gonna do 3 days. And when you get to the next week, let me add another goal on. I think it's really important for you to be able to reach your goals, right? And to be able to navigate what that looks like. And really, you can't do it in a silo by yourself. Create community, right? On the days that I feel heavy, I go to my accountability partners, my cousins, my friend circles to say, yeah, I'm feeling heavy right now. And if I need to take a break and go on a trip, I'm gonna take a break and go on a trip. You got to figure out yourself. So I would say the first step is to know yourself, figure out what your goals are, and then figure out how you balance that in. I'm really big on like time management, all those things take intentionality. A game changer for me was block scheduling. I don't know why I didn't know about block scheduling before, but it is a thing and it is amazing because we honor our calendars, right? We really honor our calendars. So if I plug in, I'm going to write my ebook, write in my book for 2 hours on Monday. I write in my book for 2 hours on Monday. If I give myself an agenda and I get my agenda done early, game changer. The rest of the time, you already blocked out for it. I do something for self-care. So if I block 2 hours and I get done in an hour and a half, that gives me 30 minutes to do something that's self-care related. And I love it. Absolutely love it.
That's so good. Now, a lot of comments have been coming in. So, if Aunt Irma, if I end this show without comments, you will look. So let me just make sure that we take a moment and acknowledge the studio audience. Aunt Irma Mason is on, and she said, amen, amen. It's your calling.
Absolutely. And if I can plug our Irma is also a clinical therapist and she works at Intentional Steps Counseling Services. So if you want somebody that got some experience, and if you want somebody that got that background as well for being a social worker and a clinical therapist, and who is also a elder, all the things, y'all, send a message to me. Let me know so I can connect you with my auntie.
Yes, I'm trying to find one of the pictures back here that have your aunt in it because I think I put it up earlier, but I just want to pop it up again because Aunt Irma is somebody that has always showed up, not just for you, but she shows up for all of us. And she's always sacrificing to make sure that she shows that she's more than just our aunt,
100%.
And I absolutely love her. So I just want to make sure I put up another picture. And with her being in your practice, I'm so excited about that because she is so compassionate.
Absolutely.
And she loves everybody.
Absolutely.
And there's a Uncle Butch back there. I see her. It's like I'm gonna be in this picture.
Absolutely.
Very supportive family. And this is your logo. Talk to us about the intentionality behind your logo.
Yes. And so when I was thinking about, even when I started my practice and figuring out what did I want the name to be, right? I really leaned into intentional steps because I really feel like that's what you have to do to be successful. You have to do it on purpose and you got to move forward, right? Do it on purpose, move forward. So that's where intentional steps came from. And at the center of that is love. And so in my logo, it has the heart in the middle and hands together because it takes community. It takes community surrounded by a central idea of love. And so that's how Intentional Steps was born.
Oh, and you know what? Even though we're talking about intentional steps, I just know from back in the day, and I'm going to pop some of these up too, because you have always been intentional in serving in some capacity. So, and I didn't put a bunch of pictures, but I found some that had my daughter in it too, because you literally helped her.
Oh, look at us, me and Jayla.
Jayla was not anybody's dancer, right? Under any circumstances, not coordinated like that. But you pulled out something in her that was different. And you made a lot of these young girls back many years ago feel like they are somebody. They're special. And so talk to us about just being intentional in even helping young girls see their potential.
Absolutely. So what's really ironic is that I went to a conference, and when I went to the conference, there was someone there that was prophesying over your name. And so I went to them. I said, "I'm see what you say." And when they did my name, they drew all these little people around me. And they were like, I don't know what this means for you. I said, I don't know what it means either because I ain't have no more kids. Like, I don't know what little people mean. But it meant that that's who I'm impactful for, especially in that season of my life when I had my dance studio. I remember times being in church and crying, and I feel hands on me, and I open my eyes, and it would be all my dancers surrounding me, touching me. And I was just like, wow, how amazing is that? And so that doesn't stop now. It still is happening with intentional steps in that capacity as well, but it's from a clinical standpoint.
Yeah.
And something that you don't know, and I haven't even really shared out yet.
Hey, you can already say something you ain't told the cousins.
Well, no, but this is easy. It's about the business.
Okay, I'm like, well, we're gonna have a whole phone call after this, and we don't know this. I'm hearing it on my show. I'm hearing it on the Kim.
No. It's about the business. But what it is I have one of my clinical therapists also has a arts background. And so what we're doing, this is like breaking news. What we're doing is we're really going to be leaning into movement therapy and leaning into art therapy. And what's going to happen is we're going to take what we're teaching and we're going to present it to the community as a recital. But it's going to focus in on mental health and movement, mental health and the arts. Y'all be on the lookout. That's going to be coming. We're going to be inviting everybody to show up for these different clients that are really just trying to work through whatever they got going on. And if you're interested and you're like, yep, that's a thing for me, reach out to us at Intentional Steps so that we can get you connected with someone so that we can really work towards this. But this is like breaking news. That's what we're going to be doing, another layer of what we provide.
And how do they get in touch with you at Intentional Steps?
Yeah, so I have a website. I got two websites, but I have another website, which is www.intentionalstepsservices.com. And they can also email admin@intentionalstepsservices.com.
Okay, wait a minute. I'm typing it for you. Okay. Intentional Steps.
Service. So it's step and then services.com.
Stepservices.com.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let me make sure I got this right. Please tell me if that's right. Intentionalstepsservices.com, and then email admin@intentionalstep.
For the website, it's only one S, so it's Step Services.
Okay.
So remove the S off of steps.
Oh, Step Services. Okay, I get it. There we go. Yeah, we want to get this right because I want y'all to be connected with Dr. Sherronda Banks. Intentionalstepservices.com, and you can email admin@intentionalstepservices.com. And y'all heard some breaking news. She has a whole new.
Yes. And one other thing, if you are a social worker, you're in the helping field, a counselor, a psychologist, anything like that, and you feel like you would like some mentorship, I have a mentorship program. And I actually have a informational session coming up. I have one on October 3rd or October 10th. And so if you're interested, you can email that admin account again, and you can at least hear more about what does the mentorship program look like, because there's different levels to it based off of what you're looking for.
Yes, and I know I found a flyer. I think I did great work. I'm hired by your company here today. Like I said, we're going to do some media press, get Kim involved because she done found everything she can find.
You found everything. That's it.
Growing with Guidance. Talk to us about your mentorship program some more.
Yeah, so the Growing with Guidance mentorship is exactly what I said. It's for if you're just graduating and you're just getting in the field, you're trying to figure it out, we're able to work together for me to provide those supports for you. I've been in this field for almost 23 years. It's what I do. And I know we talked a lot about my practice, but I'm also a professor. And so part of what I do at the university is I mentor, right? And so I'm bringing that into my space without boundaries or limits, right? For somebody else, I have to navigate it a certain way. In my own practice, I can navigate my mentorship the way I feel like we all need it. And then it goes all the way up into more seasoned professionals who maybe wants to start your own private practice, or you may want to elevate what you're doing. You've been doing it for a long time. You're feeling burnt out and you want to do something different. So the informational session, it really is going to go through all of that.
Good. And you still, I mean, I know y'all came to my initial service when I became a pastor. This was my initial service. And you all, my cousins, y'all came and danced and ministered and danced over my life. And it really was so impactful. So I just wanted to, because, you know, you got other cousins and they're going to be like, I know she did not do a show. Yeah, an angel up in there, right?
Yes, dance being our spiritual gift, right? And having the opportunity to manifest that. And we have a dance troupe that my cousin Alacia oversees for us, where we do go out and we minister and dance.
And y'all do a wonderful job. I know you're going to be at our 1-year church celebration. And just so everybody knows, that's coming up October 17th weekend. For those of you that would like to go ahead and get your gala tickets on October 17th, we're having our 1-year pastor church anniversary, which is Promise Fellowship Church, and Bishop Jen Wright will be our speaker. That Saturday, October 18th, we are doing our 10-year 5K walk in honor of my son that passed away, Gabriel Michael Jacobs. And we raise funds primarily for defibrillators to be put in public spaces. And if you're an organization, we're going to be giving away a portable talking defibrillator. Wow. And we're asking people to just do a 1-minute video and tag at Gabe's Heart Foundation. If your organization or office needs a defibrillator, make sure you go ahead and participate in that. And then we have our church anniversary church service on October 19th, and Pastor Selwyn Davis from Servant Church will be our speaker. So that's just some other announcements. I didn't let you know this as well, that on October 12th, that was when me and Pastor Stephanie Frink became pastors together, and she's going to be here in Charlotte, North Carolina, to speak at our pastoral service on Sunday, October 12th. Wow. What would you say to your younger self, Dr. Sherronda Banks?
I would tell her to believe in herself, enjoy the journey, and to take care of yourself and prioritize that, because the world is your oyster. You're going to meet every goal that you set for yourself, every ambition. You're going to go above and beyond what you even thought was even imaginable at the time.
Okay, I've tried to get everything in this 1 hour, but I definitely have to make sure that I reference the fact that you have a new title, and I've called you that title the whole episode. How did that make you feel to get this level of accomplishment in your life?
Absolutely. Honestly, I think it was a little overwhelming, right? At the time, it was just like, oh, I did this, right? It's like when you're going through the journey, you're like taking the classes and you're learning and growing yourself and expanding yourself. But to get to the end of it, it just was like, you know, in the midst of me still running a business, and in the midst of me still being a professor and a mom and all those things, it was a moment where truly I'm proud of myself for being able to accomplish something that as a little girl, I said that I would do.
Yes. And you did it. Yes. New title. The new title is My Pronoun is Doctor.
He is.
That's right. It looked like something straight out of a magazine right there. That's so cute. I was like, that picture going up no matter what. We know that picture right there.
Thank you.
I love it. I love it. And then, of course, in honor of your sorority, talk to us for a moment about your sisterhood with Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated.
Absolutely. I am a very active member in the Omega Iota Omega chapter here in Charlotte, North Carolina. And I absolutely love my sisterhood, no matter where I'm at. And I see one of my sisters that is always love and is always growth. And I have the ability to pour back into the community because, again, that's my thing that I love to do. And so being able to do that in a sisterhood has been amazing for me.
Good. And you also received an award recently. Talk to us about that.
Oh, you got all the pictures up here. So yes. So I was nominated to be a Woman to Know in North Carolina through an organization called Women Know. And in the nomination, I had an interview process, and I was chosen to be one of the 50 women. And it was a phenomenal experience. I got a chance to go to Raleigh, and my family supported me so amazingly, so proud of me, and made sure that I knew that by either their words or their actions or being able to come. And it's something it's on my website, all of the things, because I truly believe I'm a woman to know in North Carolina.
You are. And then I think, is this your bestie? I hope it is.
That's my bestie. Yes, it's an old picture. Yes, that is Nikki. Nikki and I have been best friends since we were 15. So 30 years now that we have maintained our friendship. We are the godparents of each other's children, all the things.
That's a good thing. I put that picture up because we all need a best friend that we can say, this is our lifelong friend. Absolutely. We're ace poon coon, ride or die type of thing. And everybody has, not everybody, but a lot of times people think people are always against you, but there are some people that will ride with you till the wheels come off.
Absolutely. Yep.
So
And Nikki definitely is that for me, right? I can tell her anything. She definitely knows the secrets in the closet. I
I'm telling her the cousin stuff though
don't
now.
tell her the secrets of the cousin. She knows the secrets.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's so good. I had another picture of y'all, but for whatever reason, I cannot find it, and it's like too much happening
Yeah.
over here. So I was like, forget it. I'm doing my best. I did my best. I got one of the cousins, one of y'all. Any closing comments, thoughts, anything that you did not get a chance to say? Oh, here, is this her too? Let me just see. I'm gonna see if this is her because I was trying my best to put a couple of pictures of you and your bestie. Okay, is that her?
No, that's not her. That's one of my old parents that was for F2, Liturgical Dance
Oh,
Academy.
okay.
Tasha.
Very good. I
Yeah.
just like that picture too. I was like, I don't know. I'm finding pictures. I did the most backstage. But what advice would you give people today that are really struggling and they're trying their best to figure this thing out called life and really feel stuck? Is
Yeah.
there anything that you can help them just walk away with today to
Yeah.
help them get on the other side?
Absolutely. I think the biggest thing is it is okay to ask for help, right? It's okay to reach out and get people who are trained to be able to provide that service for you. Sometimes we can only do what we can do in our own silo because who's checking us? I'm asking myself, are you okay? Yeah, I'm okay. Who's checking that process? So having another person step in to provide you support is necessary. And when you get your other person, you want to make sure that they're getting some help, right? Because as a therapist, I create space for a lot of people.
Right.
And so I need my person that I'm able to talk through things with. So just don't be afraid to say, I need help from somebody else outside of yourself.
That's really good advice. I really hope that you all have learned so much from today's episode and hearing Dr. Sherronda Banks share her story, her personal journey. And I encourage you, if you have not partnered with the Kim Jacobs Show, please take a moment. The only way, and I'm PBS and CBN and TBN, different places, when they do these different call to actions, people are like flooding and pouring in funds. Listen, I'm asking you to please support the Kim Jacobs Show. The only way we can come on at this level, Monday through Friday, right in the comfort of your home, is by community contributions. So whatever way you can donate to keep our subscriptions and our ability to come into your house, please take a moment to do so. For the audio listeners, it's paypal.me/Kim Jacobs Inc., Venmo at the Kim Jacobs Show, Zelle, you can use 704-962-7161, and Apple Cash as well, the same number. All right, so I really hope that you will take a moment to pour in. And as final comments that came in, thank you for sharing, Dr. Sherronda Banks, your mommy said.
Of course.
And Darlene said, awesome. I see you, Arafat, advertising. So the people on Facebook can see you over there. Elder Irma Mason says, your grandmother Clark is smiling from heaven to see how God has blessed both of you. Wow.
Praise God.
You're going to make us cry.
Exactly, at the end.
Yeah, come on now. Awesome. Yeah, because to keep grandma's legacy alive is so important. She was a charter member of Bethune-Cookman College in 1942, playing basketball, a little 4 feet 6 inch self. And it's an honor to keep her legacy alive. Dr. Shana Gordine says, amazing. My mom says, Sherronda has always been intentional. I love her and her actions.
Love you too.
Dr. Shana says, good afternoon. Yay. Okay. What questions do you have? I see congratulations. Okay, y'all, we got to get ready to get off this show. Amen. It's your calling, Sherronda. Congratulations. So proud of you. And Sadie says, I'm starting a new journey since I've been retired to join a gym. And you know, Sadie ain't going to be running from nothing. So the only time you see her running, if somebody chasing you, she'll be like,
yes.
This is huge.
That's huge. I'm so proud of her. Yes.
Darlene,
shout out to my mom too. My mom now works with me as well at Intentional Steps. She's really pouring into that space. I'm happy to have her.
Yeah. So she now literally from retirement, she's going to be unretired because she's going to be going to work with her daughter, Dr. Sherronda Banks. And so you'll be seeing her in an administrative capacity there. Awesome. Looking forward to being there. Okay. All right. I think I've said everything. Let me go over here to Instagram because I know people were commenting. I see you, Brown Deesby. I see you, Redbone. I may be saying y'all nicknames because y'all got these Instagram names. I see you, Lady J. I see you, Koja Queen. I see all of y'all. Okay. All right, y'all. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to this episode of the Kim Jacobs Show. We greatly appreciate you. I love you, Sherronda.
I love you too. I love you big.
And I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
All right, everybody. That's today's episode of the Kim Jacobs Show. Make sure you tune in Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Kim Jacobs Show. I love you all. I'll see you backstage if you stay back there. All right. Love you guys. Talk to you soon. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of the Kim Jacobs Show and for being in the virtual studio audience. Your presence truly does make a difference. And I look forward to you bringing your friends and family to join you in the virtual studio audience Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I look forward to seeing you and make it a great day.